Hi guys, so we've got a computer here, or sorry, a PlayStation 4 board here, and we just pulled it out of a system that we had taken to someone. This is actually a while back. This is before I soldered, and I had taken it to a friend, and he had soldered it, and I'd trusted the work. He did say that when he does it, he can never get it to really like stay put, and then he'd put some extra solder on it. And if you saw just in the video there, that solder on the back end of the board was on the anchor points there, and he actually bridged them together just to provide more support, I guess. But it's ugly. We're gonna take this thing off now. The pins did look good, but there's some scratches that I pointed out. Let's take a look. We're gonna put this under the scope and get started on it. All right, so here's the board. You guys won't be able to see it much over in the overhead camera, but I just wanted to show you some of the positioning stuff that I do. So we've got our scope over here. This is where I usually have it. And if we're looking at this HDMI under the scope, let's see. So if I have it sitting here, you can see the board is pushed all the way back to here. And here's our HDMI. Let me switch over to the camera here. So you can see there's my finger. So here's our HDMI. But the problem with that is that when we're wanting to work on it with the heat gun, I don't really want to burn up my table. So what I like to do is bring it off the edge here. And then I can get my heat gun, I can come up in here and just come straight underneath that HDMI and work on it. So let's see, let's bring it over here a little bit to the left. We're gonna go ahead and take this off of it. Now this guy's already worked on it, so we won't need to downgrade the alloy because that's already been done for us. We're going to take our temperature to about, I'd say about 460. Let's go to 460 on here. We're going to go to wind speed at 100. And we're going to get this guy's stuff out of the way. We're going to see if we can get this off. We're going to use our fancy tweezers. Let's see if we go over here. You guys can see my tweezers. I love these tweezers. You can find these online. Let's see. So we're going to switch back over to this camera and we're going to take this HDMI off. So we're going to add some flux to the sides, or the back end where the pins are. We're going to add some back there. And we're going to add some to where the anchors are here. And just for shits and giggles, let's go over here, put some flux on the back end over here too. Okay, there we go. And the problem with this is that, I'm seeing a lot of solder that has just kind of balled up. Like there's solder balls on things that shouldn't have solder on them. So we're going to fix that too. Alright, here we go. So 460 degrees, we got our nozzle open, and we're getting ready to take this off. So I start from a little bit of a distance down, and then start applying the heat, and then start coming up. As I come up, the flux will start to melt, and then it will start to bubble. And then once that's happening, I need to keep an eye out for my solder to see whenever it starts heating up. I get my tweezers in position. And you don't want to pull up right away because you'll pull the pads off the board. So we want to take our time here. Let that solder melt. Okay, it's starting to go and it's off. So we've got our solder, or our HDMI port here. I'll switch over to the cam so you can take a look. That thing's still smoking. But yeah, there she is. Okay, we're going to set that over to the side. Okay, there's our HDMI port. Whew, yeah, that is not pretty. That is just not pretty. So we can focus in a little. Man, look at that. So yeah, this is my wife's PlayStation. Whenever it fell, it was standing vertically on a shelf or on beside the TV, and I believe either she was cleaning or an animal knocked it over, and it fell straight back behind that shelf and then straight down on the back of the PlayStation and just rammed that HDMI cord straight in and the plug and everything. I mean, let's not blame anybody for this one except for the user. Elizabeth. Man, look at that damage. Whew. So if we point at it, this right here with the scratching and everything on it, that scratch leads straight down to here. So either that scratch happened, it looks like it came from this way and then hit this and moved it over, and then somebody soldered it maybe back on crooked. And then this one could be a missing component from here to here. Possible? I'm not sure.
It looks like there could be a missing component.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell.
Yeah, we'd have to look at a PS4 board and compare it. So yeah, let's start by first cleaning this. So first thing we're gonna do is position ourselves over and clean this thing under the cam here for you. So we're gonna take some alcohol. This is 90 proof right here. Let's get us some alcohol on there. We're gonna start wiping it down. What video? Oh, I'll have to edit everything. Yeah. Yeah. But why can't we post it? What would happen?
She said somebody's name.
Oh, somebody's name. Yeah, I got you. Okay. Alright, so yeah, we're cleaning it up right here. Get all that old flux off there. Dude, why did he put this much flux? That's the thing. Like my flux, it was only like real quick, and I put a small amount on. This is original flux. This is what he used. It's crazy. So much flux. You gotta clean your mess up. Oh man, I need a new Q-tip. And that's another problem I've had is trying to find Q-tips that don't just fall apart on me. Alright, now we can see what's up here. We got it nice and clean. Alright, so we got this thing cleaned up. Let's take a look at the damage. We can leave this guy the way he is. It's not horrible. It's still making a good connection. We're not 100% sure on this little spot right here. So here we're gonna get a little dab out of this. So we're gonna come in here. Let's see, we're just gonna get us a little bit there. That's it. And then we're just gonna paint on the tiniest amount. Let's see. Oh. See how much? It goes a long way. Let's move it around. Let's push it over there. There we go. Okay. And then we're also going to paint the rest here. So let's keep going. Yeah, I'm not even squeezing this tube. I'm just letting it sit, and that's just coming out like that. Put a little bit there. Let's see. Let's go ahead and grab some more. There we go. Looks pretty good. Wipe that across there. There we go. And yeah, it's just taking your time. You're an artist when you're doing this. Really just take your time. There we go. A little bit more. We're almost done. Yeah, I'm just trying to just kind of run it across. Okay. There we go. Yeah, this stuff does make a mess, I'll tell you that much. Just get ready with a napkin or something. Clean it off the end of the bit there, off the syringe. Here we go, just pop that on there. Run it across. Bring all this stuff down. Alright. There we go. That looks pretty good. Here we've put a little bit of alcohol in there to kind of clean it up a little bit. We're just gonna dry it. There we go. Get a little hair off of there. Okay, it looks pretty nice. And if you guys want to know what I'm blowing this stuff off with, It's this little guy. They're freaking awesome. Okay, let's take another look. So what we're gonna do now actually is make sure that we can install the next one really easily. So we're gonna remove the solder that's on here. So we're gonna get some flux. I got some flux on my paintbrush. See if I can reuse it. Bleh. Oh yeah, there we go, there we go. Oh yeah, just paint that off. Man, it's supposed to be a nice dry brush. That sucks. Probably ruined it. Have to clean it out later. Put some flux on here. So this is our braid wick. There we go. We're gonna go ahead and get some clippers and clip off the old tip there we used. There we go. Oh man, that UV mask is getting everywhere. Ugh, it just gets everywhere. There we go. Let me just throw it away. Okay. So we're coming here with an iron. Gonna plug up my soldering station. Now, I do like to keep my soldering station unplugged the majority of the time just because um, of static electricity damage and just overcharging, and like if anything ever hits it, I just hate to have it ruined. That would really suck. So we're not going to use micro tweezers on this. We're going to use a standard iron. So I went through here, I found my wick, and I've got my station here on. Set it to 750 degrees, and have my solder ready over here. Solder wire. What I'll do is clean it, pre-tin it, and then what I like to do here is actually take the flux itself, or sorry, the braid, and put flux on the braid. So we'll put a little on the braid. We come in with the braid. We're just going to tap it on there. See if we can pull some of that solder out. Oh wow, what kind of solder did he use? Oh wow, let's just see if it melts. Oh my gosh, really? So we're gonna use some Kester. This is, I believe, a 6040. Let's see what we got here. 6337. So 37% lead. Okay, so we're gonna come over here and we're gonna melt some of this on here. They kind of downgrade it a little bit. Oh, I forgot to clean this side. I'm gonna come over and clean it in a minute too. Put a little bit of flux there. Come in and touch that, make sure it melts pretty easily. I'll clean that off. Oh my gosh. Crazy. Crazy, guys. Oh my gosh, it barely even melts. Look at that. What did he use? Okay, we're gonna add a little bit here. See, as soon as you mix that in, look how much easier it just starts to melt. Oh wow. Oh my gosh, what is that? What is that? Did he put a whole piece of metal here? What in the world? Oh my gosh, what is this? This is an entire pin, guys. This is crazy. Just gonna come here and see if I can knock it off, but I can't. It's stuck. Oh my gosh, my poor tip. Let's get this off here. Oh my gosh. Okay, definitely clean that up and tin it again, because that's a mess. There we go. Oh my gosh. There we go. Shoo, this got me discombobulated right there. That's crazy. I ain't never seen nothing like that. So make sure the tip of my iron looks good after messing with that. Alright, so I got a lot of solder on here. I'm gonna go ahead and use it to downgrade this. So get it in there. There we go. Ooh, look how ugly that tip is. Let's go clean it up. Oh yeah, much better. And whenever I'm cleaning up, I like to, let's see, let's show you what I'm doing here. So I take the iron and I clean it by stabbing it on in that wool over there, and then I touch it. So I got a little bit of extra solder in there and clean it one more time and then set it down. And that just keeps those tips looking pretty. We gotta keep them tips looking pretty, guys. Trusty Q-tip with some alcohol on it. Oh man, that's crazy. I do not know why he did that. He bridged it with a piece of metal. It's just insane. There she is, nice and filthy. Okay, let's clean this up. I'm gonna go ahead and get a new Q-tip. Alright, so if you're having trouble getting the flux off of here, let's man, these Q-tips are falling apart on me like crazy. Let's take our temperature all the way down to about 115. Alright, so most, even low melt solder is gonna melt at like probably 138. So we're gonna take our wind speed down to about 30, and we're gonna come in with our tip that is more, our little pointy angled tip here. So this is the tip I'm gonna use. Let's get that angled one. I'm gonna turn the unit back on. So you get that prettied up for y'all so you can see what's going on here. Okay, there we go. So what that does, it just melts that flux, gets it just a little easier to remove. I did learn that tip from the guys up in New York. Don't worry about the little pieces of cotton that get stuck everywhere. We'll pick them off later. We just want to get everything cleaned up. It's looking nice. It's looking nice. Whew, that flux went everywhere. Okay, and the thing about flux though, you know, you leave it on the board and it will become corrosive over time. So we really just want to make sure we get it all off as much as we can. Just to keep everything pretty. Make sure we don't have any problems in the future. Okay, so that side's nice and pretty. We're gonna flip it back over. Okay, I think it looks really nice. Now let's try again with the iron and see if we can get the uh, the anchor points empty of solder. So we're gonna try to remove the solder. Alright, so my iron's hot. We're gonna apply some flux here. It's doing a little better. I really don't know what kind of solder he used in here. That's the problem. That one did pretty good. That wasn't too bad. It gave me a little faith. Let's come back in. So I added a little solder to the left side. Let's go ahead and cut our braid again. Oh yeah, what my hope here is that while the heat's down, coming from the bottom, we see that solder melt, and then I put the braid on top, and hopefully it will cause it to pretty much transfer that solder into the braid. We're just trying that. We're really wanting that to happen. Okay, here we go. From pretty far down, applying some heat in the general area, then starting to focus in, and then watch for the solder to melt. I'm staying on the left side right now. Ooh, that's hot. Here we go. Yep, it worked for a little bit. There we go. So we've got two on this side over here that look pretty good. Still have to work on that side. So what I'll probably have to do is just come at a better angle with that braid. Okay, so now I should be able to come in here with this braid right here and come straight down into those points while it's getting hot. And I can have my hand over here a little bit. So let's try that. Okay, I'm scooching over. Alright, coming from afar, heat this thing up. Come on, braid, there you go, there you go. Okay, we'll move our heat. Whew, that's longer than I usually like to stay on there. Alright, so let's switch over to this cam. You guys can see the braid. And we got some solder on there. Look at that. There we go. So we'll put that over there. And you guys can take a look, see our work. There we go. She's looking pretty nice. Heck yeah. Let's take a look at the other side. Okay, there we go. Now I'm going to look at it, make sure visually it looks nice and flush. So it's going to sit good. Looks like all the supports and everything are good. Okay, looks nice. So now we're just going to keep pressure on it. We're going to come in with our iron. So let me go ahead and let it heat up real quick. Okay, while it's heating up, I'm going to go ahead apply some flux here. Don't want to be too generous because it just makes cleanup a little harder. But hey, if you're not scared of cleaning up, it should be fine. Alright, we're going to set these points down. We're going to use our solder that we used to downgrade the alloy. Use that same solder. Here we go. I'm holding on to it. Put some solder on there. Then I'm going to come in here. I'm going to touch each one of them. There we go. There we go. Okay, and then I'm going to clean my iron. Then, oh shit. I'll come in here, touch them again. Should clean them up a little bit. We'll check it again in a minute. But now, that HDMI port is on there. It's not coming off. So now we'll put some solder on the ends. Pretty good position there. Yeah, see it's moving a little. That's because our anchors aren't set yet. So now we're going to put some flux on here. And here. There we go. Grab our solder. So right there's our pins, and if you look at these, I went in here with the micro tweezers and tightened everything up. So let's look at this side first. So if we come in here and we poke at these guys now, none of them are moving. They're all looking good, every single one of them. So what I did is I went in here with the micro tweezers, and I'm sorry you guys missed it. It was very, very cool. So I went in here with these tweezers, and what I did is there's blobs there of solder. I took them like this right here, and I just went shoop. Whenever you swipe out like that, you'll pull the solder away into the tweezers, and then you just come over and you clean it off in your metal braid here, or your sponge, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, we cleaned all those up. They're all pretty looking. So yeah, I'm just gonna clean up with alcohol, and then I'm gonna reinstall this and let's see if this thing works. I really got my fingers crossed on this one. And you just want to use some isopropyl alcohol. There we go. Make it pretty. Let's see over here. Here we go. Alright, set you down. There you go. Alright, start plugging some stuff back in. And with this, you don't want to over tighten one side before the other, like entirely. So what we like to do is just go down slowly together. Even get down to where it's like half a turn each. We're gonna tighten it up to where it just starts to push you back against you. I think is that it? So, like that. I believe it goes underneath this one and then into this connector here. There we go. We're going to plug this in. Do. Go. Let's see if I can do this. Guess I go this way. More complicated stuff on that side. Oh yeah, nothing jiggles around. That's nice. Elizabeth! Elizabeth! It's about time to test your PlayStation out.
Put it on the table.
So here's the PlayStation 4. We just turned it on. That is so cool. It's working, y'all. And that is awesome. Look how clean
How
that
do I
looks.
connect to the internet? I've done forgot. I haven't played this system in so long.
Up, over.
I was in
Right there in
settings.
settings.
There you go.
Click on that.
Dang, it looks pretty. What's
Network.
cool about this game is that the systems that we have PT on there.
And set up an internet connection. There you go.
What was it about PT that was special, Elizabeth?
Okay, so it was a game that the creators of Silent Hill was making, and so they made a playable teaser. That's what PT stands for. But licensing fell through, so it got removed entirely from the PlayStation Network. So that means anyone who has a save file, it's very finite. You cannot get it anywhere else. So systems that have it are worth more money because you just can't get it anywhere.
That's
you
awesome.
Cannot get it at all.
That's awesome. I'm so happy we got it fixed.
I have it.